Riley here for Board Game Geek TV at Spiel 2014. I'm sitting down with Thomas Coe of Istari Games. How are you this morning?
I'm fine.
And you've got a very fun, dynamic game for us to look at like this.
American name, so it's international, and yeah. So the game is it's kind of a very strange game for Istari Games because it's
well, yes, for with Istari Games, that's true.
It's a 10-minute game where you mixed deduction, a kind of the spirit of Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective, and it is mixed with the phone game, telephone game. So it's kind of very strange mechanism for Istari, but we have done Sherlock Holmes detective consulting, and it is set in comic book Black and Mortimer, which is very, very famous in France and Belgium. It's one of the top sellers every Christmas. Like till now, it is. There is one coming in December, and it will be on the top chart. But it's totally unknown in the US.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I hadn't known about it.
But you can recognize it is from the illustration we took for the game are from Jacobs, and Jacobs is one of the two men. A character about the two men people that define the ligne claire. The other one is Hergé. So Tintin is more known, but you can recognize a kind of the style that they try to define at that period of time. So that's why he's more on. Tintin was more children focused, and Blake and Mortimer, they were more adult oriented because they were not in a kind of oriented adult content. It's just that you have a lot to read in the comic book. It's more like a lot of text and the style of the ligne claire, which was defined by Hergé and Jacobs. So the game is very simple because you can see the rules. It's only 2 pages.
All right, there we go. That's it. We'll hold it between us.
Yeah, so it's really, really simple. The last one is just the universe of Black and Mortimer, and you don't need to know that to play the game. It's not. It's just the graphics that you will enjoy, and here it's just for people that are curious to read about the character that are on the comic book. So really, it's really simple. And even we put, if people don't want to read the rules because it's a lot, you can just understand that it's a cooperative game, a team game. Well, it's a 4-player game that we are all working together, and you can take the first cases, and in the first cases we have put the instruction in red lines. So it's the rule. So the way you like is if you prefer to read the rule, or if you prefer to read the red line and just start immediately. So, like in Sherlock Holmes Detective Consulting, you will read a small summary of the story. So we will have 64 different stories with 4 levels of difficulties. These are the one for the beginner, and it's very important to begin with this one because you will see that there is a learning curve to get, because the first game will be difficult because you will read the rules or you will begin to play, but you will not understand, you will not have a clue of what is going on because it's very a lot of surprises are going around a case. So you have 64 cases, and they can be replayed more than in Sherlock Holmes Detective Consulting. Like if you play 2 weeks later, or you have played 10 games, 10 other cases before, then everything will mix a bit. So
it feels new again.
Normally you will, and the last level is just for people that like really brain burn. But it's really a small part. The main game is here because we want people to gradually enjoy the experience, because it's really a kind of game which is really different. So you will have your introduction, then you will have all the players around the table will have a small testimony. They are being witness of something,
Hence the name.
and it's only a part of the information. Everybody will get one of the part of information, and then you will try to communicate it to people. You will have 4 rounds where you will whisper information. So that's the phone game that begins.
Right.
You will whisper. So, for example, here in the first round, Nazir will whisper to Labrousse,
Alright, which is in front of
while
me.
Mortimer will whisper to Black will whisper to Nazir when Labrousse will whisper to Mortimer. Then the one after, Mortimer will whisper to Black all the information that he got. So even the information that comes from Labrousse on the first
And
round.
what he started with.
So, for example, the information from Labrousse, in this example, will not go to Nazir by Labrousse, but it will go there, here, on first one, then here on the second one, and then here on the third one. So you will not get the information directly. That's where the difficulty is, because people will have to memorize all this, and only at the end, they will be able to take notes just to get rid of okay, this is that. And of course, in all the case, on the first one, we are very nice, but more and more we are working with very different kind of tricks. Like there are some that are more based on logics, more than on visual, or to describe visual, so more on the communication level. You will have one that plays with name, like very similar names. So use like Igor, Hector, Victor, Victoria, and things like that. And we play with left, right, on my left, on your left, I don't know, on the sides. We try really to work on 64 prototypes of stories and logic and mechanism. So we try to work on very different levels. We play this a lot on the French Fair in order to tune this a lot, in order to get the reaction of people and try to make them lost. So that's kind of unusual when we are playing history games, but that was a very good experience to develop. So at the end, you will have 3 questions. Once you have got the notes, 3 questions. It's very basic, and the 3 questions you answer individually. Each will write his answer, and it's 1 point for each good answer. The trick is that if I get all the information, I will have all the answer, and I will say, okay, I have 3 points. But if all the people behind me are 0, 0, 0, they will just be like, you didn't tell us anything. You keep all the information. So if you say, yes, I score 3, it's very good, but you only, the goal is to score the maximum for the whole team. So you can score up to 12 points, but if you are not sharing information, you will score very bad. So it's simple score, but it's really like, it's more than a cooperative game. It's really a team game that if not everybody around the table is not involved in it, it's going to you will do a bad score. So it's really like kind of different game, mixing a lot of things. So
I'm going to grab this again. Well, Thomas, gotta say, I'm glad your story went in a different direction, because this looks spectacular. And so if anyone wants to go check that out, that is Witness from Your Story Games.